What's up, YouTube? I'm Hayes, and me alongside Sully are bringing you Heat of the Week for the Champions of Galar League. So, this could also be called Sets of the Week, either work. It's just taking a look at the best sets or the most creative sets of the week. So, since this is the first week, I'm gonna establish a couple kind of guidelines we use to look at this. So, a set can be very creative, obviously, but we gave a lot of like points or credit to how much work it did it do its desired purpose, and yeah, that's about it. It can be unique. If it just didn't work, probably didn't give it too much of a look. But yeah, that about does it. So without further ado, let's get into our best set of the week right now.
Let's get right into it. My top set of the week is Galarian Corsola from Gray vs JV's match. Gray brought the set with Rest, Sleep Top, Calm Mind, and Shadow Ball, and as you see, he brought it turn 2 in on a Carkol. We know what Carkol does. It gets in, sets up hazards, can spin, and then generally dies. And unfortunately for JV's team, there just wasn't a knockoff user. There wasn't enough stab to actually hit this Corsola super effectively. And you can see this thing just soak hits. Just things that I wouldn't, we know it's bulky, but it's just unbelievably bulky. And without some actually opportune crits here and there, there's one min-match and a couple here and there, it's pretty unfortunate because it might have fully swept. Try not to spoil too much from these matches just because, these are really good matches. Please go watch them. I can't cover everything within the short time span I get. However, unfortunately for Gray as well, he brought 4 Mons that are weak to rock, and there's a rock dust sitting on the opposing team, so you can see how that would be kind of bad when Corsola goes down. But that's my top set of the week.
All right, so at our number 2 spot, the runner-up for this week, we have Vepsis and his Trick Ring Target Metagross. Now, Vepsis had a very specific plan with this Metagross. So he had several things on his opponent's team that he wanted to remove their weaknesses. So on screen, we have the Gastrodon, Persian, and Zapdos that all came. So what the Trick Ring Target allowed him to do was to remove Persian's Psychic immunity, allowing him to hit it with his setup Lum Necrozma, I think it was DD, harder with Photon Geyser. It also allowed Gastrodon to be hit by water moves from Primarina, and giving it a water weakness, actually. And lastly, it also removed Zapdos' flying weakness, allowing his Landorus to smack it with an Earthquake. And as it so happens, that is exactly what we see playing out. So he switches it in on a Gengar that has its set revealed. And his opponent in Bruno withdraws and goes hard into his Zapdos. And what we see play out here is he tricks the ring target to the Zapdos, and this allows the Landorus to smack it with an Earthquake, and he goes hard. No, he doesn't. Hold on. He goes hard into this Landorus, and to the surprise, this thing just drops. Simple as that. And this allows Vepsis more leeway in this matchup. Zapdos is a very big Pokemon for him, and although it didn't end up getting Vepsis the win, I loved its creativity, and the purpose behind it was mostly fulfilled. So yeah, that's gonna do it for our number 2 spot.
Runner-up is actually a Drampa set versus OG Albino. This is Cruppy's set. Get over to it. It's actually a Elite Drampa, not boosting item, and it just puts in so much work. You can see OG Albina values his hazards, especially with the Clef Lead, just gets up spikes and dies. Not a bad set, but you can see it just, this Drampa just puts in work, taking the Klefki out, along with, as we come up to it, you can see OG Albina go hard into this Lucario, and I don't know what he was expecting or thinking, probably of him saving this Drampa for later, but it's Chople Berry, doesn't even need it, goes hard Flamethrower into the Swords Dance, as OG Albina just loses 2 Mons straight off the bat. And even more importantly, as Mew comes in here, you realize that this isn't the Dragon Dance Mew set, this is Stallbreaker Mew, as Cruppy does point out to us immediately after seeing the taunt, and it really sets up the back end of the game really well for him. So
do it for Heat of the Week for week 1 of CGT. Before we end off, I would like to give a special mention to Dr. Slacking's Beware, that while it didn't quite make the top 3, I absolutely loved it. It put in the utmost work. And yeah, overall this week was pretty good for Heat. Very creative sets coming out from the coaches. Some of which did exactly what they designed to do. Especially that Corsola, man. Absolute props to Jack for getting that top spot. And I'm looking forward to what's in store for week 2. So yeah, that's going to do it for me and Sully. And we are going to see y'all for week 2 with hopefully some more Heat. All right, peace.